So Fish
Tank on a Stick.
Fish Tank on a Stick made a random crits video that was more over encompassing on the concept of random crits in general, but like he focuses heavily on random crits for like a good section of the video. And he basically made all of the right points about it, that it's just archaic and doesn't make any sense in TF2. Basically kind of summarized a lot of the points that I made in my video.
Yeah.
And I scrolled down to the comment section expecting everybody to kind of have the same sort of like, I don't know. There seems to be this like apathy towards it for people who do like want random crits in. And I genuinely do think it's just like, well, I don't have a good argument, so I'm just gonna like pretend like I don't care.
The big thing for me is honestly because I watched that video as well, and it was good. But in terms of like the apathy towards random crits, I think it's mostly just because I don't think that they would have ever. Let me change the way I'm gonna think about this. So think about random damage spread still exists in fall damage, right? But otherwise, do you remember random damage spread being a thing? Like you couldn't reliably two-shot light classes, or you Broccoli back in the day, back when me and Dane were young wee lads playing TF2, you could melee a sniper,
young ripe age of 21.
Yeah, you could melee a sniper twice, and it wouldn't guaranteed kill him. Because you're
literally nerfed the lock and load because of that. The lock and load is still nerfed because of the random damage.
So
I forgot that was a thing.
Your melee could do 55 damage.
That's so stupid.
Yes. So
yeah, that's really dumb.
It's one of those things where honestly, I think if they removed random crits, like people probably wouldn't notice for a few days. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I've always kind of maintained that, and yeah, and honestly, I'm so tempted to make like a gloating video, like where I'm just like, I told you so, because Uncletopia is very, very popular and nobody cares that random crits are not on Uncletopia at all. Like, it doesn't prevent them from enjoying the game. The game is very similar to casual for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes the game like relatively better, like in a pretty noticeable way. And I think a lot of people are like, oh no, Uncletopia is just a nice community, and it's like, no, you're enjoying it because you're not like running into bullshit every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I agree.
One part like that, honestly though, like I 100% understand what you're talking about in terms of like wanting to gloat, and there
it's like I'm never gonna do it, but I mean,
no,
my mind where I'm just like, guys, Uncletopia like it has had a pretty big effect on how people look at random crits, and I told you that it was not going to make the game worse to remove them.
No, I will say Uncletopia has been. I mean, I know the maps are like your map preference, but there are some maps that
actually isn't true anymore.
Well, because you had I know you had the mixed servers because you had like payload and then like whatever, and then you went back to all in like single servers.
Yeah. We've always been open to trying different things to see what sticks, and we just kind of landed on what we have currently. And at some point I was just like, you know what, Uncletopia is like bigger than myself at this point. Like it started off as like, oh, I want to be able to play on my own servers and not run into maps I don't want to play. And I was like, I can afford to be selfish. It's just like 3 servers. And then it's grown to such a size where I'm just like, all right, this doesn't matter. Like my own preferences literally don't matter anymore. I think I'm just going to try and keep the theming of casual plus, but so like still try and keep most of the servers on the like official maps. But yeah, I don't think that we have any map bans anymore. I think you can literally pick any map.
For me, it's just that when I get to if we get to the end of the map and payload comes up, I know it will be voted for almost every time.
Well, yeah.
Which is fine. I personally just wish that we could play more Koth. That is literally that's not on you. That's just on the players.
I think that's just the general player base.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like payload is just always going to be picked because it's just the best pub game mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't really change that fact.
Somehow I always get the people who vote for Dust Bowl, and I have to leave and go into the
okay, that's the exception. That's the exception. Dust Bowl gets voted for a lot, but I like Kong King comes up, and I'm like, please, or High Pass. I love High Pass. I'm like, please vote for it, and I'm like the only one, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like
too bad somebody nominated Upward.
No, absolutely. And
you gotta strategically like look at like the most recently played, like which ones are on cooldown, and be like, all right, which one is definitely going to be like the payload map is going to be picked, and then you have to be like, all right, got to pick like a cooler map than that. I don't know. You got to be more strategic with it.
Yeah, you're just leaking the strategy right now.
No,
like,
there
okay.
are Uncletopia regulars who are like, oh no, he's blowing up our strat. No, I know about it. I know you guys are
doing it. Yeah.
manipulating the system. I can't do anything about it though.
It's just like in the last episode, Broccoli and I were talking about like me, like especially in Uncletopia, where I do this mostly in Uncletopia where there's no class limits, where I'll pick spy like before the class, like the round starts, so people will be like, oh, someone's already there's already 2 spies, so I'm not gonna be the 3rd spy. And so I'll pick spy, and then 30 seconds before, like roughly around 30 seconds before the round actually starts, I'll swatch, like I'll go to I'll become medic. And then I'll like, so that way I can use an Uber out, and then I'll go back to spawn and then switch to the class that I want to play. But like the whole point of me picking spy though is just to subconsciously get the whole team to play like not spy.
No, that's a good strat.
Like, but it's even better on Uncletopia because they don't want to be like, they don't want to max out the class limit. I think is like the mindset. They're like, I'm not gonna be the 3rd spy, or even if there is a 3rd spy, by the time that they have that person who would have been the 4th spy, they have picked another class already, and I'm like, okay.